Thank you for joining me. This is Tammy Morrison, and I am live today with Sunday service. So, Sunday service is a thing that Spirit placed on me to bring forth because so many people are not still able to get out of their house and go different places. And Spirit just placed this on my heart to do. And so here I am today. I am live on Instagram as well as Facebook and YouTube. So if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go find me. It's Tammy Morrison on YouTube. So go find me and subscribe, hit the bell and all that good stuff so you can get notified when I come on live and when I upload new videos. All right. So super excited and grateful to be joining you here. For those of you that don't know me, if you just scrolled and you found me, my name is Tammy, which means that I connect with God, Source, the universe, to receive answers for different things that happen here on the planet, as well as helping and co-creating healing, helping people to heal. And so that is my jam. That is what I love to do. I'm also a writer. I have written and published 3 books. I also help other people to do the same because that is another thing that is one of my passions. Because as a multi-hyphenate human being, I just got that word from my friend Sheena Ewan that I interviewed a couple of weeks ago. And I thought that was an amazing word because it described me perfectly. I love it. Multi-hyphenate. So if you don't know what that is, it also means multi-passionate. It means that you are not a one-trick pony. You like doing different things, more than one thing. Another thing I love to do also is make jewelry. So I made these earrings and I made a few more and I have some other things. And so that is another thing that I just love to do because it takes me down a creative path that I hadn't been able to go on. I think writing does that as well for me because of the career choice that I made in the medical field for the last 32 years. And so I am sufficiently over that and ready to do other things. And so I'm super excited about that and thanking you for joining me today. So if you are here and this is your first time, or if it's not, if you've been before, drop in the comments and let me know where you're watching from, where in the world you're watching from, because, these apps are making it possible for us to talk to people all over the planet. And I am here for it and I love it. Today, I'm going to talk on Sunday service, and I won't be before you long, and I'm not lying like the preachers, but I want to talk to you about healing. And so I have a few scriptures that I pulled up that I wanted to share from the Bible about healing. But you know what? Also, let me look real quick. Let's see what that pulls up. Okay, so also I wanted to look just for a second what the Quran says about healing. The Quran describes God's power over all things, that our accomplishment in healing and medicine, as well as everything else, has been achieved only with his permission and help. Our knowledge is limited to what he has revealed to us up to now and whatever we accomplish in the future. So that is what the Quran says about healing. And then I want to share one of my personal favorite scriptures, Isaiah 40:29 and 31. He gives power to the weak, and to those who might have no might, he increases strength. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And there was another scripture that I wanted to share. James 5:17. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. And I think one of the other versions says, One of the other versions says, the prayer of a righteous man. I can't even think of it right now. Let's suffice it to say, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Uh, let's see. There was one that I wanted to share in. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall rise with healing in its wings. You shall go out leaping like calves from the stall. And that's Malachi 4:2. But there was one in Solomon that I wanted to share because that one was just amazing. The wisdom of Solomon. And y'all know that Solomon was supposedly one of the greatest kings that ever lived. And so Solomon 16 and 12, more than any herb or ointment that healed them, but your word alone, Lord, which heals everything. And so I want to really go into that and talk about that because that is where we are right now. The Bible also says that the power of and life are in the power of the tongue. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So if we will think about that scripture, that one as well as the Solomon 16 one, which speaks to the fact that the words that come out of your mouth, the things that you say about yourself, the things that you say about your diseases, the things that you say about your conditions, the things that you say affect those things. The thing is, we can either speak life or we can speak death, either one. But it's your decision. You have to decide whether or not you want to speak life or do you want to speak death. And that is something that I wanted to talk about because so many times, and there's so many of us, I've seen a few movies lately actually, and that was something that had me thinking about this subject. Not really, but really. Because I don't, if those of you that know me know that healing is my jam. I could talk about it all the time, and I'm studying so hard about certain ways and practices and things to help people to heal, because I know that so many things that people are going through, people are killing themselves left and right, and it can be so avoided. I think I really feel that if people are able to really truly connect to their higher self, connect to their to the Holy Spirit, to God, source, universe, I truly believe that we stop this, people killing themselves left and right. I mean, it's just horrible. I that thing hurts my heart when I see 25, 29, 28, 30, 35-year-old people killing themselves. It's just awful. And you can kill yourself in more than one way. You don't have to get an overdose of drugs, or you don't have to shoot yourself or jump off a building like somebody else did, or jump in front of the train like that young lady did the other day. You don't have to do it that way. You can just accept the conditions and the diseases and things that you hold on to. You can accept the words of people that are speaking death over your life instead of speaking life over your own life. You can speak life over your own life. There are things that we give into that we should not. And I'm not saying that we should go into fight or flight, but what we should do is really begin to consider, and to care about our own selves, really begin to speak life out of our mouth, because, we speak death out of our mouth so easily that when you begin to pay attention and you begin to listen to yourself and what it is that you're saying, listen to the things that are coming out of your mouth. When you begin to do that, then you will understand and see how you might have been killing yourself for decades, for years. And the funny thing is when you begin to awaken to these truths, and you begin to awaken to this knowledge and this wisdom that has always been here, let me say that. And when you begin to awaken to that knowledge that is there, it's like, whoo, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I've been doing this to myself. It's almost like when you finally decide to quit smoking. Okay, and I can use that as an example because I finally decided to quit smoking at one point. It's been years ago now, but I made that decision. And when I did, I struggled with it a little bit because, to be honest with you, I think that was one of the hardest things that I had to quit. I've never been involved with any hard drugs, so I don't know how that is, but I can only imagine, how hard that could be. But it seems like cigarettes is even harder just because, it's legal. You're not fighting the law, and you're not running from anywhere. You just go in the store and buy it. If you're 18 or over, you can buy them. And so, to me, I think that was more difficult, I feel. Now, like I said, I don't have anything to compare it with because I've not ever used hard drugs. It just was not anything that I ever wanted to do. And so, but I do know that that was really difficult, you know. But when I think back on it, it's like, okay, so I'm doing this thing, and supposedly because it helps me with anxiety and all this kind of stuff, but I'm killing myself. Every single puff that you take, you're killing yourself. And so when I think about it in that way, it's like, no, I need to be healing myself. That is the area of in the place and time that I need to be doing. I need to be healing myself. Healing myself. If you feel like that, I'm telling you, it is a space to step into. Because when you start looking at some of the things that you did and some of the patterns that were in your life, when you start really checking, is what the kids like to say, right? You start really checking for it. You start really, looking at it and paying attention to the details of, what your life is or what your life was. And then you begin to decide what you want it to be. What you want it to be. What do you want? What do you want? And that is a question that I love to ask my clients because, it almost catches them off guard. What do you want? What is it that you want? What do you desire? Without any filters, without, regardless of money, regardless of time, regardless of any of those things that, we place before our desires. What do you want? What do you want? And when you give yourself that freedom and you begin to see that, and then you begin to step into that place where you know that you are healed, regardless of what it looks like. Because I was just listening to a healing transmission that Matt Kahn did, and he was talking about how, even though it looks crazy out here in the world, things are shifting, things are moving, people are waking up. People are becoming woke, and it's an amazing thing to see, even though it looks crazy, and that is one of the things we have to see. We have to see ourselves healed, even though we might not be, even though we might be going through pain, we might be going through all kinds of stuff. And I can speak to all that because I deal with all of that. However, I see myself as healed, and I speak that to myself every single day. And one of the ways I do it, I take my hands and I rub them together, and I feel the energy in between them. Feel the energy in between them. I rub them together. About 50 seconds, maybe, not too long. A minute. And I feel the energy in between them. And then I pull them apart and I feel the energy growing in between. And I feel the ball, and then I see what color it is. And so right now, today, it's green. And then I take that ball of green energy and I place it on whatever place I want healed. If it's my stomach, I place it on my stomach. If it's my heart, I place it on my heart. If it's my back, I do my best to place it on it. And if it's a place I can't get to, I place it energetically. So I imagine it to go to that place. And then I breathe through it. And I feel the energy moving. Even as I'm sitting here, I feel the energy moving. And so if you have done that, that is like a short small healing that I love to do. And I've done it a few times with some of my clients, and it's been amazing. The results are humongous. People begin to feel like their anxiety is decreased and lessened, which is one of the things that healing accomplishes, you know? And so people begin to feel that. I put on some amazing music like this that's in the background. I hope it's low enough that Facebook doesn't get mad. Um, but I'm kind of over that right now. I'm really over it. I'm so tired of dealing with that stupid stuff. I don't even know. But yeah, so I'm just super grateful and super excited to be here to share this on this Sunday morning. And so as you begin to look at the things that you are dealing with in your body, look at the things that you're dealing with in your mind, anxiety, depression, stress, IBS, all of those things. Stress, 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 stress. I can actually look at so many conditions that have their basis in stress. Autoimmune conditions, stress, 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 stress. Stress that has entered into your cells and is holding on for dear life. That is really what that is, y'all. And so if you can begin to speak life to your cells, speak life to your body, speak healing to your body, and just begin to embody that thing and begin to believe it. And I'm not talking about on that level where people go to church and they shout and they jump up and down and they scream and they holler and whatever things that they do, or they just stand there or they chant or whatever things they do. But they get up from there and they take their baggage back with them. They take their conditions, their diseases, their crazy attitudes, their mental issues. They take that stuff with them instead of leaving it on the altar. I've seen it so many times and I just refuse. Not doing that anymore. I have to have healing, and I have to have healing, the true healing that God intended for all of us to have. And so if you are in that space and that is something that you're looking for, make sure that you continue to follow me. And also, if you are looking for a healing session, I have those. And I also have an 8-week to limitless program where it is 8 healing one-to-one sessions based on what you need. Based on what you need, not as a part of a group and, hit or miss, none of that. It's based on what you need. We co-create healing for you. And so this is something that I'm super, super excited about, you know, um, because I know that people need that in this planet. Oh my God, people need it. And I am here for it. I have been studying this stuff for a few years. I'm actually in the School of Metaphysics now as well. So I've been really diving deep in. And I also have been on my own healing journey. So I don't know if you know, but if someone knows how to fix a car, then they can fix yours. If you know how to fix a car, they can fix yours. If somebody knows how to put in a ceiling fan, they can put one in for you. You see what I'm saying? And so you want to definitely, when you begin looking for someone to help you co-create healing, you want to look for someone that has done it for other people, for themselves also. And so super, super excited about that. And I'm looking at doing this 3-day masterclass after Thanksgiving, because since we have Thanksgiving coming up this week, I wanted to do it after Thanksgiving, after you ate all the turkey and you and you already was in your turkey coma with the tryptophan and all that stuff. Come out and come to a healing activation. So I'm just so excited about it. I've been trying to do it for like a month, but I have ended up having death in my family. So I ended up having to travel. And then I went on vacation because we already had that plan. And we needed it. God knows we needed it. There's one thing about vacation. It is like a reset. For me, it doesn't matter if I go for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks. It's a reset for me. And I love it. So anytime I can get away is amazing for me. And so that is in my goals for next year. I really want to get away at least least every month I want to go somewhere, do something, even if it's just for a weekend. That's fine with me. Just as long as we can get away. And quarterly, I'd like to travel and go different places, take a little bit longer vacation, about a week or so. That's what I want to do. That is my goals for next year. So what are your goals for next year? What is it that you want to do? I also want to be able to just work with people on the healing and do some amazing circles, because that's another thing I love to do. I love to do those sister circles. So I'm looking actively for a place that I can do those. I have a place that I do it once a month, but I'm looking for some place to do it more than that, because I don't think that's enough. Honestly, I really think we could meet more, but I can only do what is available for me at the time. So I'm actively looking for other places to do it. So I'm going to check out some other spots here locally where I'm at, because that's something that to me is priceless. I love it. And it's something about when you come together in a group to co-create healing. It's almost like everybody is there for the same thing, and it wasn't spoken out. I didn't say, okay, I only want these people. I only want people dealing with anxiety, or I only want people dealing with depression, or I only want people, no, I don't say any of that. I just ask God to send the people that need what I have to offer. Send the people that need to be healed. Send the people that want to feel loved. Send those people, because that is the people that I'm calling for. The people that, may have missed out whenever. Hey, Dawn, thank you for joining. And yes, I am super excited about that, because it's like, to me, we don't talk about it enough. We do not talk about healing enough. People talk about all kinds of other things, talk about activations and stuff, and those are good, because I not do those too. Don't get me wrong, I love that too. But I think that, conversation is lacking. I was listening to a Wayne Dyer video this morning, that he was kind of talking about that, and how, we have to normalize that, and we have to embody that and remember who we are. And this is something that I know is happening now for all of us, because we need to remember who we are. We need to remember who we are, y'all. Remember, because here's the thing that I'm learning. This world that we live in has already been lived. We've already lived this. We're almost like in a deja vu. That's why you see all kinds of things in different dimensions. Sometimes, I promise y'all, I see into other dimensions. I'm seeing things other people aren't seeing, and also, but I'm realizing that we're living in deja vu. That's why sometimes you feel like, I already had this conversation before. We already talked about this, because we're living in deja vu. That's why. That's why we are living in deja vu. We've already done this. It's already been done. That's why you can know that you're living in abundance. You're living in the place. Hey, Carmel Ann, thank you for joining me on Instagram. But that's how you know that we're living in this place. Because it's happened to me so many times lately. It's like, oh my God, I remember this. It was like a scene from a movie, but it was the movie of my life. And it's the same for all of you. You are living in the movie of your life. The movie of your life. Oh my God. So if you're living in the movie of your life, what do you call it? I call it walking through the tumultuous time. Or I could actually call it walking away, since I already wrote that book, part 2. or like what was it, part deux? So I'm just super excited. Hey, Carmel Ann, thank you for joining. It's super great. I'm super grateful. But yeah, so it's just time, y'all. It's time. And I'm inviting you to the conversation. I really, truly want people to have this conversation about healing, because I know people are afraid. People are afraid. People are scared. So much shit going on in the society, and they are trying so hard to keep us divided. And I'm not here for that, y'all. I'm here because I am the light. That's why I'm here. I am here because I am the light, and I am grateful to be able to be here, to be the light, and that is how I truly believe that we should all feel like we are the light, especially if we are out here helping humanity. We are the light. We are the light, y'all. And I'm here for it. And I'm so excited because, now I'm in my 54th year, y'all. I am 54 years old, young, 54 years young. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful just to see it, because people ask me all the time. I actually had a conversation with a young man, and he was saying that he didn't celebrate his birthdays and he wasn't, really interested in doing that. And he didn't know. And so I just explained to him, I said, well, think about the alternative. I mean, you either can celebrate or you can. And when you can't, you're dead. You're transitioned. You're not in this body anymore. You have left this skin suit. I said, so you got to think about it like that. And he was like, I never thought about that. I said, yeah. I said, honestly, it's all in perspective. How do you perceive it? Perception and perspective. How do you perceive it? How do you perceive it? Me, I perceive it as amazing. I'm super, super grateful. Every year I get excited about 2 months before my birthday, which is my husband's birthday month. But I get excited about 2 months before. And to be honest, we celebrate his for a month. And by the time we finish celebrating his, then we start celebrating mine. And so we just celebrate. And I truly believe that is the life that we should live, and we should celebrate. We should celebrate. And as we celebrate, we should begin to understand and know and look at and perceive our bodies, and also begin to see our bodies as healed. Because what I know is that when you begin to see your body as healed, and when you begin to act like that's what you see, act like what you want, what you desire, act like you're healed, then things will begin to shift for you. Things will begin to shift. And you'll be almost be like, oh God, it's like magic, but it's not. It's not like magic. It's you have put that out there, and you have shown that. And you have shown it by the things that you say and by your actions. And so that is another thing. It's like I was watching a video about a young girl that was I think she was paralyzed, or something was going on with her. She had some kind of, maybe it was one of those muscle conditions. I can't remember right now. But the fact that I'm talking about it is she got up on crutches so she could walk. Now, she didn't walk like the way that I walk, or the way that maybe some of you walk, but she was walking. She was up on her feet. And that was the important part for her. And so what I use that as an example to say that was the important part for her. That might not be important to you, because you can walk on your feet without crutches or whatever, or you're okay, or you walk with a walker, you already know that, whatever. That might not be something that you celebrate. But what is something that you would, you know what I mean? What's something that you would say? You're so welcome, Carmelan. Thank you for joining, girl. I appreciate you. But I'm saying, what would be something that you would celebrate? What would be something that, would make you just be all excited and post on the gram and on the book or wherever you post? What would make you excited? Would it excite you if you woke up one morning and you weren't in pain like you normally do when you wake up? You didn't have stomach or pain in your back or pain in your neck or pain in your head or wherever you have pain. Would that be exciting for you? Would that be something to move toward, something to share with your body? Would that be something? For me, for a while, it was when I wake up in the morning, my stomach hurt so bad, I didn't even know how to act. I wanted to cry. But because I'm really not a crier, I only cry, when the need rises really hard. But I'm not a crier, but I wanted to cry because my stomach hurt so damn bad when I woke up. So for me, after I started really praying and really meditating and really using my skills and abilities and the energy work that I do to heal my stomach, to really begin to co-create healing with God for my stomach. And when I started doing that, and I started recognizing and realizing that, Sometimes what we have to do is we have to just allow it to come through and to pass through us. I think sometimes what happens is we make these things get stuck and stay because we claim them and we hold on to them and we baby them and we love them. Oh, my this, my that, all the different things that could be going on with you. I'm not embracing any of that shit. I'm allowing it to pass through me. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. But I allow it to pass through me. Now, do I sometimes have issues with it? Yes, I do. Sometimes my body hurts so bad, it's hard to stand it. But that has become less and less. Less and less. I deal with that less and less. Why? Because I don't claim it, and I don't coddle it, and I don't baby it. And I'm not trying to hold on to it. I'm trying to allow it to pass through my body because that's what I believe that is doing. I think that sometimes, I truly believe in my case that came from me because I was so busy doing so many things and working so hard for so many years. And I think that came to me because what it did was it slowed me down some, because there were some things and some times, and I went through some periods where there were some things I just couldn't do. I couldn't do it. And it was wild because when you deal with stuff like that, you don't look sick most of the time. You don't look sick. Nobody can look at you and tell that you're in so much damn pain you want to cry. Nobody can look at you and tell. But they but you can tell and So I dealt with that a lot. I had some days where I would even go to work and I would be feeling so bad. And usually the people, if I work with them for any length of time, they would know. And they would be like, "Oh girl, you're not feeling good today." I said, "No." And I had some beautiful people that I worked with at different times that would really help me out. I had this one beautiful soul. She would come in, stay late for me sometimes if I just couldn't, because I would just be at the point where it was even hard for me to get up. It was hard. And so I dealt with that, for a few years. And like I said, I still deal with it occasionally, but it's so much less. So much less. So much less. I mean, I can actually count the number of times that I've had episodes with that in the last year on my one hand, which is amazing to me, so I haven't really. But the key to it is that I set intentions. Now listen to this. I set intentions and I decided that was not my story. I just can't go out like that. That was what I decided. I was like, and I know that a lot of people are listening to me, especially a lot of healers, because what I've noticed is that healers go through a lot, and that we go through a lot in our bodies and different things. And I know some of the reasons behind it is because when we go through, it gives you an amount of compassion for other people's conditions and circumstances and the things that they're dealing with. It gives you a certain level of compassion. And so that is one of the things, because you don't, especially if you're dealing with things that people can't see. It's almost like it's like verbal abuse. Okay, so you've been verbally abused for 15 years, but nobody can see that on the outside. You can't see that. Now if you had got your ass beat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, people can see that. They can see that. They'll look at your face, or look at your back or whatever, your body, whatever. They can see that. But when you are verbally or emotionally abused or even spiritually abused, people can't see that. And so it is unnerving, for people to look at you and say, okay, what's wrong with you? It's almost like when people look at the handicap sticker things, plaques. People get those for all kinds of things. It doesn't mean they can't walk. They might not be able to walk far. Or it might be a real struggle for them to walk. You just don't know. And so you can't judge people based on that. You just can't. And so that is one of the things that, that going through all kinds of different things that you go through in your body will help you to be compassionate towards other people. Because before I started dealing with that, I don't think I was real compassionate, because I never really had health problems. I mean, the most health problems that I had were the ones that you couldn't see. were female problems. From 12, I had those problems, endometriosis and all kinds of stuff. And so, I would have terrible, terrible, terrible cycles. And oh God, I had a love-hate relationship with that thing. And so over the years, different procedures, every time they came up with something new, I would try it. Because, I would try it because I dealt with that for so many years. But I'm just super, super grateful, to not have to deal with that, thank God, anymore. But also, like I said, when I started dealing with the fibromyalgia and a few other things, I started really understanding the nature of illness. And that actually was one of the things that guided me on this journey to start learning about it and start helping to people to heal, because I wanted to help my own self to heal. And that's what I did. That's what I did. I just started, and I can't say it wasn't an overnight thing, and it wasn't like that, and it wasn't like bewitch or no shit like that. It wasn't that. It was consistently doing the work. And even when I didn't want to, because there were times when I didn't want to do that work. I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. And you know what I learned is you got to allow yourself that space and that time. You have to allow yourself that space and that time to not do anything if you don't want to, because there's something in that as well. There's something in that. There's something in taking time to do nothing. Sometimes you don't need to do a thing. And I practice that on some days. I just do. And it took me a long time to be able to do that, because I was always a person that would go, 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 because I felt like I needed to. And I felt like if I wasn't doing something, and that was a whole nother thing. That was one of those limiting beliefs that I had to get rid of from when I was growing up. Always doing something. If you're watching TV, you're not just watching TV. You're ironing, you're reading, you're studying. You're always doing something. You can't just watch TV. Oh no, that was a cardinal sin to just sit and fucking relax and watch TV in my house. And so I learned that. And so when I grew up, I would be watching TV, and I still kind of sort of do that, but I'm pulling back, allowing myself now to just relax. But I would be doing, reading a book while I was watching TV. My husband laughs at me now because sometimes I always have a book. And so I'm reading a book, or I'm reading something online, and we're watching a movie or whatever, not in the theater, but I mean at home. And so that's another one of those limiting beliefs that I had to set aside and move to the back and say, no, I'm not going to allow you to control my life anymore. I need some downtime. Sometimes I need to just watch a fucking movie, because for one thing, I like movies. I love movies. I love them. Movies take you places, y'all. Y'all don't know, movies take you places, and you learn so much. And then also, sometimes they pop up, movies and songs pop up when I'm doing readings and stuff, because it's just how I relate to things, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to get off here because I feel like I'm rambling. But thank you for joining me on Sunday service, and thank you for this discussion on healing that we've done, and that has been so amazing. It's been so amazing. But make sure you're following me, and make sure that you follow me on YouTube. I have put the link in the description. So on Facebook, it'll be in the description. I'll also drop it in the comments as well. But make sure you follow me there, because I'm getting ready to really beat that up and do some more things. And plus, I got about 500 videos on there. So you can binge my channel for days. I have Straight Out of Savannah, which is my amazing talk show and podcast. And so it is on YouTube. It's also on Anchor, Spotify, everywhere that you listen to podcasts except NPR. And that's my next move. So so I'm looking at that. And so you can listen to those, or you can watch them on YouTube. I'm super excited and grateful just to be, on here having this conversation and having Sunday service. And so I'm grateful for you guys to be here. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to pop off here now. I will be back on Tuesday And we're going to talk about another aspect of healing, I believe, because that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do a series on healing. I'll be live on Tuesday and Thursday, and then Sunday service with the Morrisons. And I'm also live with my good friend Megan Marie, Ebony and Ivory, on Spiritual Growth on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So if those are things that you would like to hear, and if there's anything that you want me to talk about and to cover regarding healing, make sure that you reach out to me, because I'm really about to blow your minds because it's time. And then don't forget, I'm going to do the healing activation. I'll be talking more about that. And if you are on my email list, you'll get an email regarding that. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Bye now.